Everybody, it is Dylan and Ross Save Sports here on Full Press Coverage, Full Press Radio Network. We are back. Hello, happy Monday to you. Happy Lundi Gras, as we say in Louisiana, or as Dylan says in Louisiana, as I say from Louisiana. I'm Ross Jackson at Ross Jackson Nola on Twitter, joined as always by my good friend, good buddy, good pal, Dylan Sanders at Dilly Sanders on Twitter. Hope you all had a happy Valentine's Day, and we are back at you here, Dylan and Ross Save Sports, Full Press Radio Network. Dylan, how you doing, bud? I hear you.
I'm muted. I've been muted. I was saying,
just let you keep going.
I was going in, Ross. I was going in. I was just gonna say, like, it's cold, so like everyone's like stuck in the house. Which means like my friends that are usually here, they're here. They're hanging out. One of them actually wants to say hello and celebrate Mardi Gras with us.
Oh, boy.
Oh yeah, you can come over.
Oh,
yeah. Eating gumbo. How you doing there? I just said that you got eating the gumbo just to be getting warm out there. It's cold out there. Got to eat the gumbo. Go Tigers! All right, Coach.
Wow.
Oh wait, did my camera fall over? Could you not see Coach?
No, couldn't see him. Couldn't see him. I was able to hear him though, loud and clear.
He left.
Yeah.
So
we gotta go get his gumbo.
Yeah, you gotta go get his gumbo. It's cold as ice, Ross.
Right, for real.
I gotta tell you, Ross, he's not gonna be posting any pictures of that gumbo to Twitter.
No, he better not. That was an absolute just ruthless, relentless was New Orleans Twitter this weekend as people were posting photos of their gumbo.
I gotta be real, Ross. I'll just go straight into my favorite thing from Twitter. Mm-hmm. It's been Louisiana Twitter for the past
100%.
4 days. It's whether it be the gumbo today with it being cold.
Yeah,
everything about Louisiana Twitter this past weekend was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's probably easily my favorite thing from Twitter as well. It has just been an outstanding weekend for Louisiana. Like you mentioned, it's been cold outside. The gumbo tweets, the incorrect and weird rumors floating around about the New Orleans Saints football team, like just a ton of different things going on all across Louisiana Twitter here over this weekend.
Yeah. Man, do you have any performances of the weekend, Ross? Or are we going to get to our performances?
I think we're going to get to our performances of the weekend, but why don't you tell folks what we have in store today? Because I know we're both very excited, but I know you're particularly excited.
So one thing we've been talking about for the past since we've done this show, really has been the fan controlled football league. And so we got the first weekend of it this week. And very excitingly for me, and I know Ross is excited too, we're going to be joined by the Wild Aces quarterback, dirty dude, Jackson Erdman.
So excited. I'm so excited.
Let me tell you right now, this dude's got a cannon.
Oh, he's got an absolute cannon.
Can I say piss missile? Because that's what he's got.
I guess you can. We'll find out later.
Ask for forgiveness, not permission.
That's right. That's our number one rule here at Dylan and Ross Save Sports. Ask for forgiveness, not for permission. Yeah, man. No, I'm very excited to have him on. It's going to be a ton of fun talking to him and getting to know a little bit more about him as the Wild Aces starting quarterback, franchise tag starting quarterback. So he's there the entire season. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, and they're going to have the draft in 2 days, to where they're going to redraft the entire team.
Right. Every Wednesday they redraft the offense with the exception of the franchise tag player, and then they have a second franchise tag player that they can select, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe that's how this is going to work.
Yeah.
Listen, we're still learning the rules as we go.
Yeah, I mean, it's brand new. Like everything about this league is completely brand new and a lot of fun. We got Marshawn Lynch in the booth. We got team owners talking about their teams while their teams were playing, which was super fun too. So look at all the graphics. Look at all the graphics.
I know. Look at us. Look at us, Ross.
We so fancy, though.
I know, right? I'm still just looking around the studio trying to figure out everything that we got.
For real.
But hey, we got it.
Yeah. So we're going to have all that, but that's going to be a ton of fun. And then in the bottom half hour, it is mock draft Monday. So, of course, we should do another mock draft. We should absolutely do another mock draft.
You want to do another mock draft?
Yeah. We don't have to do an NFL mock draft, though. I have an idea for a different mock draft. But we
can talk about that during the break.
Yeah, exactly. If you have ideas about what you want us to mock draft, though, drop them in the chat. Because remember, wherever you're watching, whether it's on YouTube, Facebook, not Instagram, Twitch, or Twitter, you can use the chat function wherever you're watching and then contribute here throughout the show. And then, of course, we'll also take a look at Twitter as well. If anybody wants to tweet us at Dilly Sanders, at Ross Jackson Nola, tell us what we should be mock drafting today. But very much looking forward to being joined by Jerdy Dude here in a little bit. Before we get to that, I think that there's a ton for us still to talk through with everything going on here throughout the weekend. Should we start in the NBA?
Yeah, Ross. What happened this weekend in the NBA?
Well, I think we learned a couple of things are facts. The expectations for Zion Williamson will very likely be exceeded in his career if he continues doing what he's doing right now. Mm-hmm. However, the Pelicans are terrible. Not terrible. They're just disappointing. They're very, very disappointing right now.
They're just really bad.
It's all defensively too, which is the other part of it that is just absolutely heartbreaking. Is that it's like the offense is cooking and they continue to do what they need to do over there. It's just not being so great over on the defensive side. So Stan Van Gundy sort of giving this idea now after 3 straight losses that he was going to be kind of looking over the roster and waiting to see what the expectation was going to be, or not what the expectation was going to be, but like maybe what the next step will be in terms of addressing this roster. That could mean trading players. That could just mean a different lineup, a different way to look at it. Like there's still a bunch of different things, a bunch of different ways that they could go about it. I don't know. I don't know where they go. But I still think that this is a team that has enough talent to be a playoff team if they could just get the defense right. Mm-hmm. Which was supposed to be the thing that Stan Van Gundy kind of brought with him, was it not?
Yeah. Oh, man. All right. So, yeah, I don't know, man. We're almost done with the basketball season, by the way.
Well, we're almost, yeah, it is wild, right? Like the fact that we started.
We have 3 weeks left.
We only have 3 weeks of the NBA season left, which is wild. That's until we get into finals and such.
Yeah. So then there'll be like 2 weeks of, playoffs. I mean, 2 months of playoffs. Yeah. Because the NBA playoffs take forever, but.
And I love it.
I know. Oh, man, I'm all for it. So I'm looking on the Fan Controlled Football website right now, Ross. Mm-hmm. And there is something that we need to vote on right now.
Oh, let's do it. Let me jump on and I'll cast my vote as well.
All right, let me get this.
We happen to disagree, which doesn't happen ever.
Which never happens, Ross. So literally over here on the Fan Controlled Football screen, let me get it over. Let me get this on the stream. Which pair of slacks should Coach Jinx wear?
Oh, outstanding.
Because, I mean, his outfit this week was pretty amazing.
It's pretty fire.
So which slacks do we go for? I'm liking these.
That's exactly the ones I was thinking about.
Ross, we're the same person. All
right. Like even before I could say it, you were already clicking on it.
Alrighty, cool deal. All right, and then so let's go ahead. Yeah, that was easy. That was a quick one. And now let's go ahead and get Jerdy in here. Jerdy, hello.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's going on, man?
How's it going?
Not bad, dude. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
Of course, I'm excited.
So can you try to like switch your camera?
There you go.
That better?
Booyah.
Wait, and now just flip around, actually, because now you're just like upside down. I don't know. This is weird.
Oh.
Now, wait. Now here we go. Awesome. Perfect.
Now you should have just. I would have just stayed upside down. I thought that was a fun, exciting way to go about it. Dude, thanks so much for taking the time to join us. Fresh off of the first week of FCF, man. How you feeling?
Feeling good. It was an awesome weekend. I thought, just media-wise kind of took off. We got on Sports Center, and then It was fun. It was electric. The arena's awesome, so it was fun to play again.
Yeah, definitely, man. I believe that.
The first thing I want to know is what was it like getting the play call? Like, so it was just like, so the playbook was wild, and then going through, there's just a minute between each play. Did it feel like that like screwed up like the momentum or anything, or was it just nice to be able to relax a little bit?
It was definitely different from what I'm used to. At St. John's, my last 2 seasons, we primarily did empty, no huddle. I'm calling the plays, fast paced, like hit the line as quick as possible. So it was different from what I'm used to in the fact that it was a little more waiting, and I have no idea what the play is going to be until 10 seconds before we're supposed to snap the ball. So it's exciting, and I mean, you got to know the playbook and have your stuff together, because playbook's wide open. You have no idea what they're going to call. You got to know your responsibilities. So it's definitely exciting, but different from what I'm used to.
For sure.
I'm going to go ahead and throw your owners under the bus real quick. I was watching
Dylan, come on, he just got here, man.
I'm going to throw your owners under the bus real quick. Early in the game, the first quarterback run that they called, they had no idea it was a quarterback run. They told everybody to go run this play, and and everyone was like, "Oh no, it's a quarterback run! Oh no!" And then immediately the play, of course, got blown up immediately, and it was like, nobody tell them about that. So I'm immediately going to throw them under the bus.
I went back and rewatched the stream, and I put together a little game plan for them, and sent out these notes, and I was like, hey, maybe save the quarterback runs for Ed. He's the more athletic quarterback. First down, I hear the play call. The only quarterback design book, and I was like, all right, so much for those game plan notes. but watching the game cast, I hear Austin pick, and then he's like, oh wait, oh no, this is a quarterback run. They didn't know it. So it was all good. It would have worked. We just the pulling guard was supposed to pick up the end, and he thought he wasn't a threat. Unfortunately, I don't have 4.4 speed, so he was a threat for me.
I don't know. It looked like it on that keeper.
One, though.
The fourth and one keeper looked like he had the 4.4 speed.
Hey, I'll take that. Thank you. I will take that. I know. As soon as that one was called too, I was like, oh, this is the second quarterback. And I knew just based off how the defense was playing that it was going to be a pull. Obviously, I still went through my reads, but then I was like, oh, here we go. And then just tucked it in. Luckily, got the first.
Yeah,
that was one of the more electrifying plays of the day there. And, that was when we sort of realized, too, I think that for me as a first time watching it, I kind of went to the usual indoor football mindset that the walls are still in play. And then you ended up having that sort of out of boundary area there. Has that been is that better than having sort of the walls in play? I know that you're accustomed to, of course, the out of bounds boundary and everything like that.
Yeah. And it's tricky too, because in the end zone towards the right side, the stands come out. So there's maybe a foot or two, from the out of bound or the end zone, out of bounds line to the wall. So on a lot of extra points, if we have out routes going that way, you got to put it on the money. Otherwise, on a normal field where the receiver could stretch out and catch it, it would hit the wall. So it's I don't like
it's like a whole other defender out there,
because exactly. It's 2 defenders. It's the defense and then the wall. So yeah, it's definitely different, but I mean, it's kind of fun too, especially from a fan standpoint. On the last play of the Zapper and Beast games, I don't know if you guys are watching, but Devontae was running and then tried jumping over a guy from the 8-yard line, and then just got hit in the air and then smacked into the wall. So good thing he was okay, but I mean, it's exciting too, and it's fun for big hits.
Yeah, no, it was extremely fun to watch and participate, call all the plays and stuff like that. it went way smoother than I expected. I'll be honest, for like the week 1, but I can't wait to see what it looks like in 3 weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
Like whenever everyone's more used to it and accustomed to it. I want to. Oh, first, I'll ask you. I saw on Twitter, but is the arm okay? Are you feeling good?
It's a little sore, but better than when it was originally. I got X-rays this morning, and there's no fractures or don't need surgery. So thank goodness on that. But yeah, they gave me a little like shot to reduce the inflammation, and we'll see how these next couple days go. But I'm hoping to play on Saturday.
Good stuff. We'll definitely be pulling for you. By the way, y'all could follow Jerdy Jackson Erdman here, kind enough to join us fresh off the first week of FCF. You can follow him on Twitter at JerdyDude on Twitter. Jerdy, man, thanks so much again for taking the time to join us. We're not done with you here, but I just wanted to let you know, like, it's awesome to have you here because we're taking FCF like very seriously. Like, we're very excited about it. We're going to be covering it. We're going to be talking about it. So it's awesome to have you here, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and I love having people involved that are excited about the concept. Like, one of my favorite parts is this fan interaction where they're trying to bridge that gap.
Right.
I think they're doing a pretty good job so far. So I'm all for it and absolutely love this. So thanks for inviting me on.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, we've literally, so we started this show together. We've been friends for a while, but we started this show together back in like May of last year. And within the first week, we were talking about fan controlled football and how excited we were.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, man. We've been talking about it for a long time.
I'm a huge Kind of Funny fan. Like, I've been a fan of theirs for forever. So once they bought the team, I was like, okay, I'm all in. And then now it's just turned out that I've loved the product and it's super fun to be on the field.
I love that. And I love like the Kind of Funny fan base, how it's carried over. They're so loyal. They're great people. And I love that I'm on the Wild Aces too. Like, it's awesome. Everyone's so like bought in. All the fans, the owners, just it seems more so than like the other teams. You know, so
well, yeah. You look at the social media. The social media for the Kind of Funny Wild Aces is 10 times larger than any of the other teams.
Oh yeah, I know, and I love the beef between like them, the Glacier Boys, and they just do a wonderful job handling the social media. So it keeps everyone engaged, and it's just fun.
What was that? I saw that video of them telling you you're going to be tagged. Yeah. What was that feeling like?
Oh my gosh! So I had no idea it was coming. And FCF on their Twitch, they have a bunch of different shows like every day. Like today's like the deep fade, like a haircut one. That day when they did that video, there was a Tape Don't Lie show. So they came to my door with the camera and I'm thinking, okay, maybe they're starting the Tape Don't Lie show early or whatever. And like Doncor, the FCF personnel, wasn't giving me much to go off of. So I was just trying to read the vibes. He's usually an upbeat, like exciting, like positive guy. And here he is all mellow, like, yeah, like, what are you doing? All this stuff. And so that threw me off big time. And then I get down there and the commissioner, Ray Austin, says he's doing cuts today. I'm like, oh crap. Like, what? Like, this is straight out a Hard Knocks type. Like,
it really was. It felt like Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
So, and then they turned on the TV and it was all the owners there. And I was like, oh, like, am I on Zoom? Like, what? Can they see me? Or like, what's going on? And then they said it and I was so stoked.
Yeah, no, that was awesome. Awesome to see. And I will say, I read through that game plan. It was funny watching them try to explain the Kind of Funny fans all of these things because it is a mainly like video game based fan base. So not everybody is super into sports.
Yeah.
So it was funny seeing that. Plus, hey, you did gun it immediately down the field.
Man, they went straight to letting you air it out, dude.
I know. I'm thinking, okay, how are they going to call this? Are they going to like even like think of the game plan at all, or is it going to be just a Vance calling Hail Mary and first play is like seam weak or whatever, which is a deep route. I'm like, all right, like here we go. And then Travis, I was seeing if he was going to break out the route because it was multiple options, and he just kept going. I was like, yep, first play, here we go.
Here we go.
Launched it.
Yeah,
almost worked. Almost worked.
It was on the money, man. It was on the money. I think that some of that is probably like the chemistry and getting back into not even chemistry as well, but also like just getting back into the flow of things. How quickly did you feel like everyone around you was able, and this goes for the opposite team that you were playing as well, because obviously you're manning up against this defense. What was it like, sort of watching all these guys maybe knock off, I don't want to call it rust, because obviously everybody's been working very hard to get to this point, but this is a whole new sort of venture for everybody. How long did it sort of take until everybody kind of felt like they settled in? if at all?
Yeah, good question. For me, I mean, I just played the one series, so I couldn't get like the in-game feel.
Right.
And then being injured, they didn't want me going down like close to the sideline in case I'd get hit again. So I wasn't. But like from the sideline standpoint, like defense was always pretty calm, cool, collected. Offense, I thought it was good for the most part. You just had obviously shake off those like little jitters or whatever, especially in the arena. I don't know how it transfers over from like the broadcast, but they're playing music, they got like beats going, there's huge graphics, so it's a lot like going on too. So a lot of guys are like covering their ears trying to get the radio and everything. But I thought most guys were calm and collected, especially the running backs and the wide receivers on my drive. Like they did their responsibilities, they ran their correct routes, and for the most part they did right thing. So and again, it's so difficult because from a quarterback standpoint, we're trying to build chemistry with 30 different wide receivers because we have no idea who's going to be on our team,
Right. Yeah. And you have to do that. You have to do that all over again next weekend.
Exactly.
Which is going to be wild.
It is wild. It's like exciting from a fan standpoint and players because you don't know who's going to play with, but it does definitely make things a little more difficult.
It might be interesting to see, like, if come Wednesday, since you're a tagged player, come to the draft, it'll be interesting to see if they ask for any of your have they asked for any of your input, like see who you liked playing with or whatever, like who you felt chemistry with.
I've reached out to the owners and was like, hey, these are little inside scoop, because like everyone, like some of the rankings that came out, like maybe like the 10th best receiver was like one of my top 3 receivers, so I was like, hey, this inside scoop, like this guy not only is athletic but gets the offense, because in this offense there's so many multiple like adjustment routes, so you can't only you can't get away with your athleticism. You need to do the right like read. You got to know a huge factor as well.
Yes, like the football IQ part of it is the other thing that's so interesting about it because of all those option routes, right? Like y'all all have to see the field pretty much the exact same way. What's the practice schedule like after that Wednesday with the draft? How long? I mean, I know it's only pretty much Thursday and Friday, but what are those days like to get everybody together?
Yeah, so last week, I don't know if they'll all be like this week, so it was the first game week, but we were like at the arena, like testing out the audio and just going through like some like the basic like technology that we had to get like secure on and everything. So I wonder if it'll be like similar to that every week or if we'll break off into teams. But like for the Wild Aces, we met like a little bit like after team meetings, just talking through like reads, like the adjustment routes, because like you said, we do all have to be on the same page and like know the coverage. And we have multiple plays where depending on the coverage, like you could run the same play 3-4 different ways each time all the way down the field. So it's critical for everyone to be on the same page.
It's incredible.
All right, man. Oh man. Well, congratulations on the win, by the way.
Thank
you.
We
haven't even talked about that. First ever fan controlled football league win. There we go.
I know that was huge. That was huge, especially for all the trash talk Greg was throwing out there.
They had to win.
Man, he got y'all all the bulletin board material, man. He really put it out there for them.
For real.
Oh man. I was at work during the game, but I of course had the game up on my phone, like with just like my AirPods in or something, watching it.
We're delinquents, Jackson. We are absolute delinquents.
Yes. But I was freaking out in the middle of the store whenever Crouch threw that on that 4th down, that touchdown before the half.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
That was huge. Game changer.
Yeah.
Especially like with the first drive the Glacier Boys had, like they're going down the field and it took them like 6 minutes or so to score. I'm like, holy cow, like we legit might have one possession in the first half. Every possession is critical in this league. So yeah, for Ed to go in and throw that tutty, absolute game changer.
Yeah, man. Hey, can I ask, do y'all do in terms of like after the game, do you get film on the game? Is there like an all 14 or some kind of thing that you get an opportunity to be able to review and study? Or does it really just come down to knowing your playbook?
Yeah, we get film. They film everything. So
awesome.
We go over like practice film and then also game film. So that's a whole offense because, we have a universal playbook and everything and learn from it.
Right.
So their offense last night, watched both games, broke down everything.
That's awesome.
The play names are hilarious too.
I wish I could see them. I've heard stuff like, yeah, so they're just wild names. So I wish those were the actual play names.
They're not the name. Yeah, no, there were some really like wild ones.
There was
puns,
like
basically.
Yeah, there's like an outside. I think it's like a weak toss or a toss to the weak side. It's a run play. They call it big hoss toss. I can't remember the wide receiver jet sweep run.
It was like Screaming Eagle or something.
Screaming Eagle or something like that. Yeah.
I love that. No, ours
They're
are
outstanding.
Football terms, numbers and letters.
I'll try to write some down for you next week because they're funny. They're funny.
Stuff. Oh man. Well, hey, we'll go ahead and let you get out of here, man. Such a pleasure. We would love to have you back on sometime, talk a little bit about your trajectory, your journey to get here, and what's going on next for you throughout the FCF. But really appreciate you taking the time to be with us today.
Yeah, guys. Again, thanks so much for having me.
All right, cool deal, man. Go. The ace is wild. The ace is wild.
The ace is wild. Always.
Hey, man. Thank you. Have a great one.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Oh man. Old Jackson Erdman, everybody. Jerdy, make sure you follow him on Twitter at JerdyDude. Such a pleasure having him on and hear him talk a little bit more about the game and all, man. That was great. That was awesome. We will need to get him back for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited. That was awesome. That was fun. Got me even more excited for next week.
I know you were. Hey, we got a go Jerdy up in the chat too. Hashtag the Ace is Wild. Love it.
Brit, the Ace is Wild. Go Jerdy. Let's go.
Go ahead. Let's go ahead.
Let's go, man. They're gonna connect on one of those first play touchdowns. Hey, because Jerdy can reach the end zone. It's gonna happen.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, he'll get it. I hope we get to see him play next week, and certainly we'll try to get him back on next week too, because that was dope. Breaking it down. All right, let's go ahead and jump to over on the audio side over Full Press Coverage app. We're going to take our break here. When we come back, though, it is Mock Draft Monday. So Dylan and I are going to have a little bit of fun here over the break, deciding exactly what we're going to mock draft. But I think I have a pretty good idea for us. So we'll be back here in just a moment. Dylan and Ross Say Sports, Full Press Coverage, Full Press Radio Network.
Dope.
Bloop. There we go. So my idea was mock drafting some of the FCF players.
I'm down.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
I need
a list.
There's that FCF player list. Or not player list. They make like that rankings list or whatever.
Uh-huh. How very football of them.
Here we go.
I gotta get some Wild Aces merch.
Oh yeah. Did you exclamation point champion try to get you one on the stream?
No, I didn't know that was happening.
Oh yeah.
Man. You need to watch the Kind of Funny stream next week now that you know it's going to happen, because that thing was just straight comedy.
Yeah. I definitely will.
They're playing the the Beasts next week.
Oh, dope. Yeah, send Jerdy a thanks and see if he'll come back through next week.
Hopefully so.
That'd be dope to get him in. Regular basis.
Let's see. Can you see me this player ranking list?
Yeah. Here's the one from the Draft Bible. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop. There you go. God Baka. And you can have number 1 overall for this one. Ooh. I don't know if these are post week 1 or if this is yes, but I figure we'll just draft like quarterback, 3 wide receivers, right? No, quarterback, 2 wide receivers, running back, and then maybe 2 tight ends.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do it that way.
These are okay. Yeah, no, these are updated. We're updated on the 15th.
Oh, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why do yours say updated on the 15th while mine says updated on the 7th?
Just look at the graphic all the way to the right. 215.
Oh, 21. Got it. Great. Shouts out.
Man, I just sent the link to the Twitter so I can open it up on my computer.
Yep. All right, here we go. All right, everybody, welcome back. Dylan and Ross Save Sports, Full Press Coverage, Full Press Radio Network. Just had a great visit with Wild Aces FCF starting quarterback, Jackson Erdman, at Jerdy Dude on Twitter. He's going to hopefully come through again so we can learn a little bit more about him and his journey to the FCF. But if you're not checking out Fan Control Football, it was a ton of fun last weekend. We got a couple of winners out of that. But that Zap and Beast game was wild. Johnny Manziel, wild. It was all crazy.
How was it seeing him back on the field?
It was interesting. I mean, clearly he was electrifying. But kind of as Jerdy mentioned, like there was elements of that league being electrifying and will continue to be electrifying all the way through. I also like the way that the clock doesn't really stop and it's just 20-minute halves. Mm-hmm. Each way. There are some stoppages and things like that.
Stops the last minute of the half each time has stoppages and stuff.
Yeah. So I do like it. I like the fact that it moves, but it doesn't feel rushed.
Mm-hmm. I wish I knew who these defenders were because there was one defender that really popped off in my mind.
Number 23 for the Wild Aces.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was really, really good.
Was that Markill Osborne?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, because he had a great game.
Yeah, he was awesome.
He used to play for Tennessee.
He was really good. The Titans could have used him this year.
No, I meant the Volunteers.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, well, still, the Tennessee Titans could have used him this year. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Anybody could have used him. He was playing some sticky coverage.
Physical.
I loved it.
Yeah, there was it was cool. I mean, it was great watching. Of course, like the quarterbacks are going to highlight Jackson Erdman, Johnny Manziel, Quentin Flowers, of course, who blew up in the XFL here recently. He played for the Tampa Vipers, if I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. He was like a halfback / quarterback for them. So it's gonna be awesome. And hopefully we get to see Jackson back on the field next week, is they'll be going up against it's Johnny Manziel next week?
No, it's
no, it's the Beast, right? So then it's gonna be Quentin Flowers.
Well, and if he's the tagged player, which he probably
it's true.
We don't know. We don't know who's going up against.
Yeah, we'll see actually, because I think. Let's see if I can find out who the tag players are for each of the teams.
I gotta be real. The league's really going to come down to those 2-point conversions.
Oh yeah. By the way, the 2-point conversions, or rather the extra points, are not your usual extra points. Right, like it's literally a 1-on-1. It's just the quarterback, the wide receiver, and a defender out there on an island, and you either convert it or you don't. And
it's awesome. And this league is very not defense friendly.
No, no, not at all. And the other part of it that's really cool too that I like is that like it feels counterintuitive, but I think they did it the right way. That the from the 5-yard line is 2 points, from the from the 10-yard line is 1 point, which makes it sounds like it doesn't make sense, right? It feels like the further away you are, the more it should count for. But because of the way that the field shrinks, it's tougher. It's a more condensed area to score from the 5-yard line than it is to score from the 10-yard line in a one-on-one scenario where you don't have as many routes you can run, the breaks are different, things like that. So I do appreciate both the innovation, but also the football mindedness of a decision like that, which I thought was really cool.
Well, I think we will see the defenses start to get better though, because they are the same groups every week.
Yeah, there's going to be more cohesion amongst them for sure, as well as for the offensive line for each team, which were drafted as units. There was a skill position players that were selected otherwise, but then the offensive line, which is like could be two tight ends and a center, for instance. And then the defenses were drafted as units, the shutdown squads, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah. So overall, I would say that this went much better than I expected.
It was great. I thought it was a lot of fun to watch. And I'm very, very excited to see the way that this all continues to unfold. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good. So we thought it would be fun to do a little bit of a mock draft ourselves. We can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players each if we want. The way that the draft went was that they did 4 wide receivers, 2 quarterbacks, and 2 running backs. We could sort of build the team the same way if we want. We can go about it that way. How's that sound?
Sounds good to me.
A little bit more fan controlled football going on. So I'm going to give you the number 1 overall pick here.
And
go right ahead.
Put it on the tee for me to knock it out. It is Dirty Dude. Dirty.
It's all yours, man.
Jackson Erdman is the quarterback of the
FCF, the future.
The Gumbos.
Oh, because the Gumbos is your team.
Yeah.
Don't put it on Twitter.
I won't.
Don't put a picture of your team on Twitter. They'll come for you.
I won't. The Gumbos.
Hey, real quick. Speaking of putting things on Twitter, what was the final tally for your vote for the poll about you being able to score on Trae Young given 5 possessions?
Yeah.
I know the results of the poll, but we haven't talked about it.
Yeah.
On the show.
Let's see. I have to find it. Keep talking.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do my pick while you pull that up. So since you stole Jackson Erdman right out from under me, as if I didn't give you the opportunity to do so, I'm going to go with, Johnny Manziel was a lot of fun to watch, but I'm going to go Quentin Flowers. I really enjoyed Quentin Flowers. I thought he was just outstanding. So I'm going to take Quentin Flowers. I'm going to take the XFL guy.
Okay. The given 5 possessions, could @Dilly Sanders score on Trae Young?
The answer is no.
The final vote, 54-46.
I should not have been that close.
Was no. And I got to tell you, Ross, all you MFers are wrong. I could go out there right now and score.
On Trae Young.
Young.
You can't just say I'm gonna go out there and score, because that's not the same thing as saying I'm gonna go out there and score on Trae Young.
It might as well be, because he's basically like not having a defender.
You are ridiculous. Oh my goodness.
All right, it's my second pick, Ross.
Your second pick. Your second overall pick here. Fan control football mock draft.
Am I picking defenses? Or am I picking
No. We're just doing the skill position players. Or we can do like a full defensive unit. Like we can pick one of the team's defenses.
Yeah.
But we should do the same way that they did it first, right? To where they did they did skill position players first, and then later on they did offensive line, and then they did defense.
Well, I think it depends on the team, because I think the Wild Aces' second pick was the offensive line.
Oh, well then never mind. I guess that they drafted them all told. So then so that everybody's up for grabs.
But I'm gonna go ahead and draft Andrew Jamil, the wide receiver for the I guess last week he was the wide receiver for the Glacier Boys.
He was so good, man. He was so good.
He made all them catches.
Yeah.
So I got Jurdy and Jamil.
That's a damn good squad already right there. Up next for me, I'm gonna go wide receiver as well. I'm gonna take Raphael Leonard. Raphael Leonard had a good game. There's another wide receiver that's ranked higher than him, but a couple of drops, things like that were a bit of a concern. But he's a big guy. But I'm gonna go with Rafael Leonard.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take the Wild Aces defense.
Nice. That's a good pick. That's a really, really good pick
in the league.
Yeah, he was
out of four teams, they gave up the least amount of points.
Right. Yes, that leaves me wide open to take the other defense that scored the second least amount of points at a later time. I'm gonna go now with my first running back. I think. Do I want to go with my first running back? Yeah, I kind of do want to go with my first running back. So I'm gonna go with my first running back then. I'm gonna take. Who do I want? Actually, no. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go back to wide receiver, and I'm going to take Douglas McNeil. Douglas McNeil is another guy who just has like a really, really good build for this. 6'3", 190. Played for the Seattle Seahawks for a little while too, but he's currently playing, of course, in the FCF. I want like these big receivers because you have a 50-yard field, right? And so with that, you having those like taller guys, I think is a really, really good. Having that size is really good. So that's the way that I'm going to go here. So I'll go with the wide receiver, Douglas McNeil, out of what team was he with? He was with, believe he was with the Wild Aces, actually. Yeah. He was the guy that I liked. That wasn't Travis. Travis T is tall.
Trav Daddy?
Yeah, Trav Daddy.
That's his name on the jersey.
Yeah. But had a little bit of hands issues. I'm a little skittish at the moment to take him high.
He did. I'm gonna go with Madre London, former Vol. Was he the Wild Aces guy, or was that? I'm trying to think of who. 31.
You about the running back?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't the Wild Aces guy.
No, but I still want to go with Madre London. Yeah. I just couldn't remember what team he was on, but I remember liking him a lot.
He was a really good one. I'm gonna go then, and now because he's still there and because it's ridiculous that he hasn't gotten picked up, I'll go ahead and grab Trav Daddy now. So I've got Quentin Flowers, I've got Rafael Leonard, Douglas McNeil, and Trav Daddy, who are all over 6'2", 6'2" or higher. So I'm feeling pretty good about wide receivers at the moment. Again, he had some hands trouble and everything, but I'll go ahead and pick him up. What would be my fourth pick there?
All right, and I'm going to go ahead with my tactical, my multi-talented quarterback. I'm going to my backup. I'm going to go Johnny Manziel.
Nice. There you go. That's a good pick.
To play every third drive and just run it.
I like it.
I got Jordy to gun it, and I got Johnny to run it. You know.
I love that. I'm gonna go with my offensive line. I'm gonna take the Wild Aces offensive line. In this one, they had the better of the offensive lines when the plays were called correctly, and so I'll take the Wild Aces offensive line.
Let's see. Who do I want to go with? I'm gonna go with my like gadget deep threat. So I'm gonna go with Kavonte Turpin.
Nice,
smaller dude, but fast. Can get downfield, and hopefully just outrun the DBs.
I like it. I'm gonna go. I couldn't get Jackson Erdman, the native Minnesotan. So I'm going to go with another guy from Minnesota. I'm going to go with Berkeley Edwards, the 5'9" running back. Just speed. So I'm rolling with him. He had a big day too, which was nice.
I'm going to go with, let's see. I'm trying to think of who I can go with to give a little bit of size. to my team. Let's see. I'm gonna go with Troy Evans.
I think. Good pick. Yeah.
Wide receiver, not former Saint.
No.
Not former Saints linebacker.
No.
Wide receiver, Troy Evans.
Yeah. Good pick. Let me look at. Actually, I think I already know the next guy I want. I got the speed running back that I want. Now I can go with the possession running back that I want and go with Kalen Campbell from the Wild Aces. Get my possession guy, I got my speed guy, I got my possession guy, both of which can catch. So I like that.
And then I guess lastly, I'm going to go with Ladarius Galloway, running back, former Canadian Football League star.
I like that. That means that I get my second quarterback that I really wanted, which is Ed Crouch. So I'll go ahead and take him. He gunned that great pass, a couple of good passes, as well as making plays with his legs. So now I've got him and Quentin Flowers, who can both do a little bit of everything. I'll take that.
Fun times. And then I guess I just have to take an offensive line, and I'll take the Zappers O-line.
That's a good one. That's one that has to stay nimble. They do not have a choice. I will then take the Glacier Boys. Excuse me, the Glacier Boys defense. They allowed the second fewest points in the FCF opening weekend. So I will gladly go with them and stay away from both the defenses of the Beasts as well as of the Zappers for sure. And the other thing that I like about this is that Richard Sherman's a part of their ownership. So, I feel pretty good about rolling with that group.
Once again. I'll be right back.
Yep. So that is our FCF mock draft for the day. Let's jump into a little bit more conversation here about the NFL as things are getting closer and closer as we get closer and closer to free agency here. We are now officially 1 month away from the legal tampering period of the of free agency, which is the point at which teams can start contacting players. They can start kind of like verbally agreeing to deals, but they can't actually sign anything just yet. That begins on the 17th, at which time all the teams have to be salary cap compliant as well. So the ESPN did a great article here talking a little bit about NFL players that need a change of scenery for the offseason, who needs a fresh start. So there were some really interesting names that I found on here, and some that I do agree with. For instance, Evan Ingram of the New York Giants. He's a really interesting one. Tight end Zach Ertz, has been a lot of conversation around him here recently, basically about whether or not he's going to get an opportunity to head elsewhere, or if he's going to get sort of that fresh start as well. I think that he's an interesting tight end that's going to get the opportunities that he needs as soon as the team is able to figure something out with him, whether it be that he gets traded or that he simply gets released and then gets to go out and sign a contract elsewhere. But you are going to see a couple of interesting tight ends on the market here. Jonnu Smith, Zach Ertz, as well as Evan Ingram, potentially, who we just talked about, who may end up finding his way to the back to free agency. Another tight end on this list is actually Jesse James of the Detroit Lions. Mitch Trubisky I'm just kidding. Obviously, Mitch Trubisky is a quarterback. But yeah, so I'll be interested to see where some of these guys do end up. Let's see. Actually, there's a lot of tight ends on this list because there's also Ian Thomas, there's Jared Cook, there's quite a few here. Another player that I liked on this list and I thought was interesting was Seattle Seahawks defensive end Carlos Dunlap. Talking about a guy that needs a change of scenery going into the 2021 season. I thought that was really interesting because he got his change of scenery going into the 2020 season, right? Because he was traded from the Cincinnati Bengals to the Seattle Seahawks and had a bit of a resurgence during his time there, became probably the more successful pass rusher that Seattle needed. So it's interesting as we look through this list of ESPN, defined players that need a fresh start moving ahead into 2021. I'm not sure why Carlos Dunlap would be on this list, considering he got that fresh start with the October trade to Seattle. I thought that he looked really, really good.
It gave new life.
Yeah.
Even though they needed to change his number because he just looks weird in the 40s.
It's strange seeing defensive linemen in the 40s for sure. Dylan, they're
not like Caleb on Chase or anything like that. Like a nimble. You shouldn't be a big dude,
right? Wearing 40s.
Yeah.
Dylan, the guy that they mentioned for the Buffalo Bills that could benefit from a change of scenery is defensive end Trent Murphy, and some of this has to do with AJ Epinesa potentially pushing him out a little bit and things like that. How do you feel about Trent Murphy being that guy?
Yeah, he served his role on the team. I think he could definitely be of better use somewhere else. Plus money.
Yeah, the money issue is definitely a big one for sure. A couple of big wide receiver names, the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. Cincinnati Bengals, AJ Green, who just simply is not the AJ Green that I think we fondly remember. And then Odell Beckham Jr. Yeah.
People just need, he was hurt and the team.
I know.
Like, people are so quick to throw Odell Beckham Jr. out. He was hurt. And are we shocked that a team found more consistency in week 15 than they did in week 2? Like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like Odell was the problem.
Right.
Why do people want to force Odell out so much?
I don't know. And I don't think that the Browns should be quick to force him out at all.
The only person that should be quick to get rid of Odell Beckham Jr. is the cop that he pushed in the LSU locker.
And deservingly so. There is one wide receiver on this list that I do think would benefit from a change of scenery, and I'm interested in your take on this one too. But Corey Davis, wide receiver out of the Tennessee Titans. It felt like Tennessee moved on from Corey Davis without moving on from him the moment that they drafted AJ Brown the very next season, because they essentially said, okay, we're going to grab the guy that we thought you could be. And then Corey Davis kind of got shoved aside. They brought in Adam Humphries. Adam Humphries dealt with some injuries. I think Corey Davis in a different situation in a different team can be a very, very good receiver.
I think he already is a good receiver, but he has potential to be even more.
Yeah. Like, he has some wide receiver one, like X receiver tendencies that could get him into that thing. Is he going to be the best receiver on your team? That depends on where he ends up. But he's somebody that can play that wide receiver one, that X role, and be really, really successful, I would say, in a few of these different ones. And then the next one that we have is, this is an interesting one. Quarterback Derek Carr of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yes, he should be gone.
But do you think that where do you think would be a good place for him to land in terms of him getting a change of scenery? Because I still contend that Derek Carr to New England is one of my favorite potential offseason moves this offseason.
Derek Carr to most other teams, I don't know. It just seems like that relationship is just never going to go anywhere.
How would you feel about Derek Carr to the New Orleans Saints?
Most teams should be interested. Most. I don't know. I've never been a big Derek Carr guy.
Yeah. All right. Here's one, and this one I think happens because somebody that you have been high on in the past ended up panning out in the NFL as you predicted. This is safety Malik Hooker out of the Indianapolis Colts. He's probably being pushed out a bit because of the success of Julian Blackmon coming into the NFL, former Utah Ute. Malik Hooker, I think, is somebody that is really, really talented, just deals with a lot of injuries. I think that it's a combination of things. He could use a change of scenery, sure, but he also needs to be able to stay healthy.
I agree. Yeah, he's just never been able to stick.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really just been the injuries and stuff. I don't know. Yeah, I don't see him getting another contract in Indy.
Yeah. I think he's pretty much done at this point there, but I don't think his career is done by any means. I think he's going to get another shot somewhere else. Tight end Jared Cook of the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, I think he needs any air because the Saints fan base will not give him any breathing room. So they just need to go somewhere else, I think.
At all. Let's see. This is an interesting one. Running back Leonard Fournette of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Again, another one much like Carlos Dunlap that I feel like if Leonard Fournette stays in Tampa, he'll be just fine.
Yeah, maybe they just think that he deserves a shot as another shot as a lead running back outside of Jacksonville.
Yeah, maybe.
I still think that case is him. The case is there for him to do that in Tampa.
I think so too. I think Rojo's good. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I kind of feel differently. I feel like Leonard Fournette staying right where he is not a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a bad idea at all. I don't know that he's in need of a change of scenery. Ahkello Witherspoon, the cornerback out of the San Francisco 49ers, I certainly know a couple places that would die to have him end up on their team. I know that he didn't have the best 4 seasons there in his time, but he definitely showed it enough to earn a starting role somewhere. So maybe that's what the big change would be for him, is that he gets an opportunity to go somewhere and pick up a more solid starting role.
Ahkello Witherspoon is like one of those guys that you mentioned the other day that seems like he's been in the league for 12 years.
Yeah, for real.
But he's only 25.
Right. He would be, I think, a huge get for anybody, any team that ended up landing. I'm actually surprised. Like another defensive back that I think could be on this list that's not is Gary and Conley. That relationship with the Raiders has been so incredibly tumultuous over time. Remember, they weren't even playing him last year.
He's not a Texan. He's not a Raider.
Right. Well, where was he most recently? Sorry, was he in Houston?
He's in Houston, yeah.
Houston, yeah. Get out, Garion. Get out. That's right. I forgot that he left the Raiders. Yeah, I don't think that anybody wants to play for Houston right now. So I think you could pretty much just pick and choose whoever you want. Of course, the Houston Texans player that they did select is Deshaun Watson. But we'll see.
I was gonna say, whenever you type in Gary Conley, the first thing that pops up is what happened to Gary Conley.
Oh no. Oh no.
Come on, Gary on.
I think if he ends up in the right situation, that he can have a resurgence.
Future New Orleans Saint, Gary Conley?
Only if Drew Brees retires, because remember, he was pissed at Drew Brees after the Yahoo Finance interview.
Oh, yeah.
So only if Drew Brees retires does he go to New Orleans. I think
he will.
Yeah.
When Drew Brees retires.
Perhaps. That's our expectation. It's
gonna happen.
Gardner Minshew, quarterback of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't think Gardner Minshew is really a starting quarterback, if I'm just being completely honest. So I feel like
was it the fact that his team just lost 15 straight games?
Yeah, that might do it. I feel like him being a backup, to Trevor Lawrence is not a bad role for him. Because I feel like he can be kind of one of those Chase Daniels, like perennial backups that makes a lot of money throughout his career.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be all about that. Justin Rohrwasser is on this list too. And if we're being real, nah.
I mean, his team did just have a really big loss. It kind of almost changed the country.
Yeah, he's struggling a little bit with the continued L's being taken. Yeah, interesting one. But
I have about 3%
right
interest in him continuing.
Yeah. I think he's probably proud, boy. I'll tell you that.
He's too proud of a boy to admit that he should just leave.
All right, we gotta stop. We're done. Oh my goodness. All right, we have dissolved here right as the hour hits 6 p.m. Eastern time. So we appreciate you being here with us once again. A big shout out to Jackson Erdman, Dirty Dude on Twitter. Make sure you go and throw him a follow. Root for him for next weekend, as we get into the second weekend of fan controlled football. We'll be covering it here all throughout the week on Dylan and Ross Save Sports, part of Full Press Coverage, Full Press Radio Network. Appreciate you being here. We'll holler at you tomorrow, 5 p.m.